Chapter 6 Crops and Agricultural Development. Let's learn. Crops, cereals, pulses, oilseed, fibers, beverages. Agricultural development. With the growing population, the needs of humans are also growing. But only 10% of the total land on earth is suitable for cultivation. A large variety of crops are grown to meet the needs of this growing population. As you have read in previous chapter, many crops supply raw materials for agro-based industries. Crops can be categorized on the basis of their uses in following types: cereals, rice, wheat, maize, millet; pulses, gram, moong, urad, arhar; oilseed, mustard, linseed, rapeseed; fibers, cotton, jute, flax, hemp; beverages, tea, coffee, cocoa. Info Hive. India's food grain production has trebled since 1950 to 51. However, the large output is greatly negated by the rapidly growing population. Rice. Rice is the major food crop of the world. It is the staple diet of the tropical and subtropical regions. Rice needs high temperature ranging between 16 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. High humidity and rainfall, about 150 centimeters to 200 centimeters. Alluvial clay soil which can retain water. Easy, cheap labor availability as most of the work is done by hand. Flooded fields where the plants are growing. China is the leading producer of rice, followed by India, Bangladesh, North and South Korea, Brazil, USA, Japan, Sri Lanka and Egypt. During monsoons, Asia's climatic conditions are favorable. Hence, 2 or 3 crops of rice are grown in a year. In Assam, West Bengal and Odisha, 3 crops of paddy are grown in a year, known as As, Aman and Boro. Japan has the highest yield of rice per hectare, but most of the production of rice is consumed locally. Wheat. It is one of the oldest crops introduced in India from the Middle East and is the most important of all cereals. It is said to be the oldest cultivated cereal crop and has been the chief source of human food for the last 6,000 years at least. It is the staple food in the countries located in the mid-latitudes and dry subtropical regions. Wheat requires rolling or undulating plain areas, well-drained loamy soil. Black soil produces excellent quality wheat. Moderate temperature of less than 20 degrees Celsius. Rainfall of 50 to 75 centimeters during growing season. Bright sunshine at the time of harvest. Wheat is sown generally in October-November and harvested in March-April. It is grown mainly in temperate grasslands in the USA, Canada, Argentina, Russia, Ukraine and Australia. India ranks 4th in wheat production with about 1/8 of world's output, and Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and parts of Madhya Pradesh are major wheat producing regions. Maize. Maize, being an American crop, is relatively new entrant and is gaining popularity because of its high yields and its easy adaptability to various soils and climatic conditions. It originated in Latin America, where it was grown by the Incas and the Aztecs. It was introduced in Europe by Christopher Columbus. It has a very high yield per hectare, which is almost 50% more than that of wheat. Maize requires undulating relief, well-drained, deep, fertile soil, moderate temperature of about 20 degrees Celsius during the growing season, moderate rainfall of about 50 to 100 centimeters with frequent showers, bright sunshine at the time of harvest. Info Hive. Maize is also known as corn. Many varieties of corn are found throughout the world. Maize is grown in North America, Brazil, Russia, Canada, Mexico, Argentina and India. The USA is the largest producer and exporter of maize in the world. Millet. Millet is a type of plant that grows in hot climate and produces very small seeds. It serves as food for a large number of people in India. It is grown in less rainy areas in the following order: ragi in damp areas, jowar in moist areas, and bajra in dry areas. It requires high temperature and less rainfall. It is an alternative to rice in rainfall deficient areas. Ragi is confined to areas which include Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, jowar in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, and bajra in the drier parts of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and southwest Uttar Pradesh. India leads the world in production of millet. China, USA, Brazil, Nigeria, Niger, and Egypt are other millet-producing countries. Sugarcane. Sugarcane is cultivated for sale to sugar mills. In India, it is also used for making jaggery, gur. Sugarcane is grown from cuttings and not from seeds. These cuttings or stumps can be used for growing 2 to 3 times. It is an annual crop and takes about a year to grow. Sugarcane requires level land and well-drained fertile soil, about 100 centimeters of rain, and hot and humid climate. Sugarcane is grown in many countries such as Cuba, Indonesia, the Philippines, Taiwan, Myanmar, the USA, Brazil, Mauritius, Vietnam, Fiji, Australia, and India. India is the second largest producer of sugarcane in the world after Brazil. In India, it is chiefly grown in the states of Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, etc. Cotton. Cotton is the most important fiber crop. People started cultivation of cotton during the Indus Valley civilization. So we can say it originated from India. It is the most widely grown fiber crop and used in manufacturing textiles besides a variety of other applications. Cotton is graded according to the length of its fiber as long staple cotton, medium staple cotton, and short staple cotton. The longer the fiber or staple, the finer will be the cloth it produces. The best quality staple is 5 centimeters long. Cotton is usually grown as an annual crop. Cotton plant needs high temperature of about 27 degrees Celsius, light rainfall of about 60 to 100 centimeters with frequent showers, frost-free days and bright sunshine, and fertile well-drained soil capable of retaining moisture like black soil of Deccan region in India. China, the USA, India, Pakistan, Brazil, Sudan, Mexico, Uzbekistan, and Egypt are the leading producers of cotton. Usually grown on small farms, cotton cultivation does not require large machinery. Yet in the USA, it is grown on large estates and machines are widely used. Jute. After cotton, jute is the second most important plant fiber. It is called the golden fiber of Indian subcontinent. It is one of the cheapest fibers available. It can be dyed but not bleached. It is mainly used for making packing materials, gunny bags and sacks, and thus is also called the brown paper of the wholesale trade. It grows well on alluvial soil rich in salts and requires high temperature, heavy rainfall above 200 centimeters, and humid climate. This crop is grown in tropical areas. It grows well in well-drained fertile soils or in the flood plains. Jute is sown in March and April and harvested in August or September. Jute cultivation and harvesting is labor-intensive, and as such it is grown in densely populated tropical regions where abundant labor is available. Some jute-producing countries are Brazil, Taiwan, China, Thailand, and Malaysia. India and Bangladesh are leading producers of jute. Tea. Tea is a beverage crop. It grows well in tropical and subtropical climate of hill slopes in monsoon Asia. Its cultivation is thought to have originated in China. Tea requires warm and moisture-free climate and well-distributed frequent showers throughout the year. deep, fertile, well-drained loamy soils, and gentle slopes to avoid waterlogging, rich in humus and organic matter. Rainfall on an average above 250 centimeters. Temperatures of 24 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius, and cheap skilled labor is required in large number to pick the leaves. Tea is processed, rolling, fermenting and blending within the tea gardens to give it its unique flavor. Tea leaves are very tender, and the skillful job of plucking them is generally done by women. From each stem, 2 tender leaves and 1 bud are plucked. The picking season ranges from March to December. China, India, Kenya, Sri Lanka, Japan, Indonesia and Bangladesh are the major tea producers. India is the 3rd largest exporter of tea. Assam, West Bengal and Tripura are leading producers of tea in India. Coffee. Coffee is a popular beverage second only to tea. The coffee plant is a native of the southern Ethiopian highlands. 2 chief varieties of coffee are coffee arabica or mocha and coffee robusta. A coffee plant is a typical tropical plant on the lower hill slopes. Coffee is produced from the beans of the plant. Coffee plant needs warm and wet climate and well-drained loamy soil with high humus content derived from igneous rocks. Temperature of 22 degrees Celsius. Rainfall of about 150 to 250 centimeters, and shelter from direct sunlight. Shady trees are grown in plantations. Info Hive. The name coffee has been derived from Kaffa, the highland district in Ethiopia where it was first found. Brazil is the leading producer and exporter of coffee, followed by Colombia, Angola, Ethiopia, Mexico, East Africa and India. The USA is the largest importer of coffee. In India, coffee is cultivated in Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Agricultural development. Agricultural development refers to efforts made to increase farm production in order to meet the growing demand of increasing population. Agricultural development can be attained by various methods: increasing the cropped area, multiple cropping, number of crops grown in a year, improving irrigation facilities, use of organic and chemical fertilizers, using high-yielding variety HYV of seeds, mechanization of agriculture. Brain tickler. Which food grain was the focus of the Green Revolution in the 1960s? Developing countries like India with large populations usually practice intensive agriculture where crops are grown on small holdings, mostly for subsistence. Larger holdings are more suitable for commercial agriculture as in the USA, Canada and Australia. Let us study different agricultural patterns in India and the USA. A comparative study, a farm in India. 75% of Indian population lives in villages and depends directly or indirectly on agriculture. Agriculture not only feeds the people of a country but also provides raw materials for many other agro-based industries. For our study, we have taken a farm in the Ganga Plains where the land is fertile and level. The following are the features of agriculture here. Subsistence farming is practiced and the farmer is usually helped by members of his family when he needs the services of manual labor. Almost the entire produce is consumed by the family with very little left over to sell in the market. The plot size is usually small. Due to inheritance law, the father to whom the land belongs has to divide the land among his sons and daughters. Agriculture is mainly dependent on the uncertain, unreliable and irregular Indian monsoon. Farmers use bullocks for ploughing, while some others use a tractor. Irrigation is done by tube well or with the help of canals. Other farm activities like harvesting, threshing, etc. are done manually by the farmer's family. Increase in the production of the food crop is top priority. Fodder crop acreage is very small. Problems faced by farmers are very small area of agricultural land which makes cultivation uneconomical. Farmers take credit from banks or money lenders or agricultural cooperative societies to buy seeds, fertilizers and equipment. Most of the farmers are forced to sell their produce when the market may not be favorable to them, as there are no proper storage facilities. Green Revolution has changed a lot in agriculture in the following ways: providing high-yielding varieties of seeds, timely availability of water through irrigation, no overuse of fertilizers, adequate use of pesticides and insecticides, introducing farmer-friendly machinery. InfoHive. Norman Ernest Borlaug is known as the father of Green Revolution. M.S. Swaminathan is known as the father of India's Green Revolution. Consolidation of land holdings. Farmers are given training and advice by government agricultural officers and agricultural universities' extension departments. Agricultural credit on flexible terms from the banks is available. All these measures are contributing towards increased agricultural production, as also the economic upliftment of farmers and the country as a whole. A farm in the USA. USA is a prosperous country, but not a very populous one. It is blessed with vast fertile plains and extensive grasslands. A typical farm size in the USA is about 250 hectares, and it can go up to thousands as well. The prairies in the USA stretch from the Rocky Mountains in the west to the Great Lakes in the east. For this study, we will take a farm which is located in the Midwest region of the prairies and is owned by a single farmer and his family. This region has a natural environment which favors cultivation of a number of crops such as wheat, maize, corn, oats, barley, rye and oilseed. This farmer has the following advantages. Farming is fully mechanized as the rolling plains are well drained. Soil is full of humus and organic matter. Adequate moisture is available to the soil due to the melting of snow. Summers are not too hot and springs are not too cold. Soil samples are taken to the soil laboratory from time to time. Soil testing helps the farmer to scientifically plan his farming activities. Pesticides and fertilizers are spread from airplanes. The Transcontinental Railway connects this region to the consumer markets and port towns for export. All the major activities such as plowing, sowing, harvesting, threshing and packing are done by huge cultivators. Machines like tractors, seed drills, combined harvesters and threshers are used to perform different agricultural activities. The farm here has the following characteristics. The farm is of about 1,000 hectares. It is owned by a single farmer and his family, and they live on the farm. Brain tickler. Which agricultural operations does the combined harvester perform? Work is machine-intensive and not labor-intensive. Practicing crop rotation helps in retaining soil fertility. Storage facilities are highly developed and huge silos are used for storing grains. Breeding livestock adds to the farm income. There are separate sheds for livestock, fodder and machines. A small workshop helps maintain and repair farm machinery. Yield per hectare is moderate, but per worker yield is very high. The farm is able to provide enough income for the farmer to maintain a high standard of living. The ultimate aim of agricultural development is to increase food security. Food security as defined by the World Summit is availability, affordability, and accessibility of food. In simple words, food security means all people at all times have access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food to meet their dietary needs. Recap. The major crops in the world are rice, wheat, maize, millet, cotton, jute, tea, coffee, sugarcane, etc. India too has progressed a great deal in agriculture. However, there are many shortcomings faced by the farmers in India. A large variety of crops are grown to meet the needs of the growing population. Efforts are constantly being made to increase farm production in order to meet the growing demand of increasing population. Farms are large and highly mechanized in the USA, while they are very small and labor-intensive in India.